Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, which is brought to you by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories, sponsored by the Ice Shaker, and also sponsored by Make It Mac. We've got a lot on the agenda today for NFL. As always, we're in the NFL season. We got to start it off with the NFL. Like Ben reminded me, there's a new OC in Pittsburgh. We're going to be talking about that. I've got a little hot slash bold take that I want to share for you guys a little bit later. Are the Bills back? We're going to dive into that a little bit. We'll preview some of the Thanksgiving games. We got 3 games on the slate plus a Black Friday game. Talk a little bit about that. And we'll get into some of the Week 11 recap. Celtics and Bruins lost. Maybe mix it in a little. We'll see where the chat goes with that. But Ben, we're back on another Tuesday night. This is our Thanksgiving edition of Timeout Talks. How are you feeling, man? You must be feeling like a brand new man after today's news.
Yeah, Josh, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Still got some doubts. Not gonna lie. Listen, Kenny's got proven now. It's on Kenny. Yeah, we'll give him a little leeway once I see a little who gets named the coordinator, but I mean, Josh, it's going to be on him pretty soon. I know, listen, Matt Canada has been kind of the butt of all the jokes. Everyone's pinned him for everything, and justly so. But I mean, Kenny hasn't been looking good, and that stat everyone's been throwing at me about Tommy DeVito and how he's already got 2 touchdown passes games, and Kenny Pickett's only got 1. That's not a good look. I don't like hearing that one this season. That stat. I don't like hearing that stat, especially from Tommy DeVito, who I've watched a bunch, and he's not an NFL quarterback. No offense to Tommy DeVito. He's not good. And if for giving up those stats to Tommy DeVito, that's not a good sign for Kenny. So, like we said, happy. We mentioned happy, elated. Let's get him off the sidelines. Yeah, we got Zach and already here. Yeah, I wish they could too. That'd be kind of a smart move. But hopefully let's get sort of that Ken Dorsey effect, Josh. The Bills coming out. You mentioned that little teaser in the beginning. Bills getting back on track. That offense looked really good. Granted, gets the Jets, and that offense kind of stinks. And it kind of just puts the other offense out there the whole time. Eventually, Jets defense gets tired, and we see the rest of the script all season. But put up 32 points. So I want to see what this offense can do. 28th in yards and points per game. This offense just stinks, Josh. So we really can't go anywhere else but up. So hopefully, as Marianne said, let's get a little more positive direction with this offense. I'm just excited to see who they're going to bring in. We just need a change of pace. Listen, I liked what Canada was doing at the end, trying to get on the sideline, trying to talk to everybody more, but he was already gone, Josh. He was long gone. Nobody respected him. Nobody wanted him there anymore. Nobody really listened to him. Najee and Kenny Pickett pretty much said it in post game interview after that Browns one. Very tough game, winnable game. But their offense it just stinks. And I mean, you got to give it to that Browns defense, Josh. That's one of the best defenses I've seen in a while. That's elite defense. I might bring them to a possible Super Bowl. You never know. I mean, the Browns. I know they got their 3rd-string quarterback at DTR, but the Browns are looking dangerous with that defense. But Kenny, love the decision. I'm excited to see who they're going to bring in, Josh, and let's see it because I'm tired of seeing him throw for 106 yards. I can't see that anymore. And if I see any more of these just check downs, Josh, I'm going to lose it. So let's see it. But I mean, if we bring in a good play caller and Kenny's still like this, I'm gonna start pointing the finger at Kenny pretty soon, Josh.
I think you're 100% right. I think that there's a lot of different moving pieces with the Steelers, and that's why the offense has been very stagnant, and it's been very frustrating for Steelers fans like you, Marianne, and Nick DeVosta, who's always in the chat as well. We've got Tooch and Cody. Can't forget about Tooch and Cody, who always pop in every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, aside from just the first person who comes to my mind is Najee Harris, who just hasn't been performing. I know he's like, it's weird. Like, he looks good and then he doesn't. He regresses. I mean, there shouldn't even be a situation where Jaylen Warren is better than him, just in terms of draft stock, and just you put a lot of stock into Najee Harris and it hasn't panned out. Kenny Pickett, you look at him, Some of it I feel like, Matt Canada was the scapegoat. But again, a lot of the play calls that have been drawn up when Matt Canada was under helm, I wasn't crazy for. Even just the eye test. I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan that watches every weekend. But again, I knew enough to say, these play calls don't look right. And that's why I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I kind of sympathize with guys like George Pickens and, Deontay Johnson. You've got a couple other guys who've shown frustration. But again, something needs to happen with the Steelers. You got rid of your offensive coordinator. I think the Steelers, you look at the AFC now, Bengals just went down. Joe Burrow, that's a huge blow. Okay. The Bills are still trying to figure it out. You guys, you just lost Deshaun Watson in that division. So I think you guys feel, and even Mark Andrews too. I mean, I'm off on a tangent here, but the AFC North has taken huge blows while you guys have stayed relatively healthy. You've still got a pretty good schedule coming up that favors you. I mean, why not? I think that this was a decision that needed to happen, and you can only move up from here. And I think you've nailed it on the head. We're really going to see what can happen from Kenny Pickett, because talk about inconsistency, that's him. And we're going to see if these play calls do get better. I don't know if they've announced anyone. I know James was throwing it around, and there's been like rumblings on Twitter that it was the running backs coach, or if they still not announced who's going to be calling the plays.
They haven't announced anything, so... here we go. Yeah.
Here we go. I mean, we've got those takes later.
She's already going.
I'm not gonna give you the take on that, but I will say, Charlie, it's looking real dangerous for the for the Bengals. I mean, might as well call them the Burrows. I'm just kidding. But the Bengals, I mean, I think you might as well just drop them out. That's just in terms of wave the white flag. I mean, if you really believe in Jake Browning, I mean, go ahead. But again, I think. And I don't want to digress. I don't want to go off on a whole tangent here, but I think it goes back to the point, Ben. The Steelers feel that they can make a playoff. I don't know about push, but they feel that they can make the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see if it really is Kenny Pickett or it was Matt Canada. I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. I think there's some guys on the offense you got to move on from, as well as the play caller. I think
maybe Pickens.
Yeah, maybe Pickens, maybe you don't. Deontay Johnson. I mean, you've got a lot of decisions. You've got a lot of good players as well. I'm very interested in seeing how it folds this weekend. I mean, I don't care who's calling the plays. I think this is like a must-win game for the Steelers. You have to take advantage of this. It's a divisional game. You've got the momentum right now. They just lost their starting quarterback. Their locker room's broken. You've got to win this game. I think they will. And just talking about the AFC in general, we talked about the Bills a little bit. I'm going to say it. I think Josh Allen and the Bills are back. And this is one of those bold takes that I was going to say, and I'm going to save for a little bit later. I have a couple other bold takes that I want to throw out as well. But I don't know. I just wanted to come on this podcast right now to throw something out there. The national media doesn't want to say these things. That's fine. I'll come on the podcast and say it. Not that many people watch, but Josh Allen has been getting a lot of slander, Ben. You look at Gabe Davis. You look at a lot of the defensive key players who have been out for the Bills. And again, I'm not giving any excuses for the Buffalo Bills in general. I still think that they should and will make a playoff push. That's another bold take of mine. But let's calm down on the Josh Allen stuff. He leads the league in turnovers, but I think we forget he also leads the league in total touchdowns thrown. He has 29 total touchdowns between throwing and running. I think he has like 7 rushing touchdowns. And mind you, he's, I believe, in top 3 or top 5 in passing yards. And also for the Josh Allen haters out there, this is the second best season of his QBR rating in his whole career. And if you want to come here with all the excuses, I think QBR rating is a pretty good indication of how good you are and how good you're doing as a quarterback. I don't know. I think Josh Allen's fine. I think he's back. I don't know if the Buffalo Bills are fully back, but he's fine. He needs to stop getting slander. He's still a top 3 quarterback in the league. I mean, you've got guys like James running around trying to compare Dak Prescott to Josh Allen now. Now all of a sudden we've like completely turned an eye to Josh Allen. He stinks. He's this. He's that. He's going through a lull here with the turnovers. It's been something he's got to figure out. He's still elite. He's still a stud. He's still a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. And he's still a player that I would take to start my football team today. So just want to throw that one out there. I didn't think a lot of people knew that because the media hasn't been throwing those narratives out there. We're too focused on the Madden curse and we're too focused on bashing Josh Allen. But yeah, Ben, I mean, that's just that got me fired up for the week 11 recap. But yeah,
I like it. Hey, it leads into one of my takes, one of my bold takes right there, Josh. I'm a little more or less positive on the Bills and on the Chiefs after last night. I know it might be a little more recency bias, but I don't see either of them getting out of the divisional this year, Josh. I don't see either of those teams, Bills, Chiefs, getting to the championship game. Listen, it was rainy last night. You know, a lot of excuses, blah blah blah, for the Chiefs. MVS should have caught that. You know, they need to get a wide receiver. You can't just keep relying on Kelsey and these other just tight ends as you just get randomly. Tooney's only good on punt returns, kickoff returns too. So they're just gonna find another weapon for Mahomes. But I don't know. I just don't see those two teams just being able to get out of their ways this year. I think the Ravens are right up there. You know, avoiding that Lamar injury. It looks like he might have gone down instead. Burrow's going down, but Lamar looks like he was going down right there. So save that one. That run game's looking good. The addition of Mitchell. That defense is always solid, just proving themselves once again. I already mentioned it, but this Browns defense is elite. I think this is that defense is that good to just sort of elevate that offense. DTR, you know, serviceable, not really, but I think, you know, that defense is good enough to carry a quarterback like that. And you got the Dolphins too. You got the Dolphins right around there. I like the way they bounced back. I know it wasn't the most impressive win against the Raiders, but it's a gritty win. That defense showing up, and that's really what you want to see from that team. You know what you're going to get from the offense, but if that defense can give you a little something, anything, not going to embarrass like they did against the Bills earlier, I think they're legit. So the Jaguars too, nice bounce back game. Again, I know against the toughest opponent in the Titans, but you know Trevor Lawrence needed to show himself. She taking another shot in Aiden, taking a shot at listen, I think it is say that's whatever. He just kind of has a point right there, but I'll let it go. I'll give that one to Aiden on that one. But yeah, Josh, I'm not too high on the Bills and Chiefs this year. I don't think we see them out of the divisional. I think it's just time for these other teams to step up. Ravens, Jags, Chiefs, excuse me, Chiefs, not Chiefs, and their Dolphins. And forget about the 7th seed, the wild card. I'm looking at some of these teams. Steelers probably, hopefully, can snag it. Colts hanging around there, but you know, I don't know if anyone should get their hopes up with that 7th seed. It's probably just going to be a one-trip exit for the playoffs. But hopefully, we can turn around, Josh, and get that 7th seed.
I mean, to your point, James and I were talking about this earlier, and I think a lot of people around the National Football League, a lot of fans, I mean, you look at the AFC right now, and the Chiefs, everybody wants to say, you know, the Chiefs are the favorite, and that's fine. I have no problem with that, but they have glaring issues. And I just want to come out here and say this right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are legit. That was a Super Bowl-esque win last night. I know Jalen Hurts didn't play that well, but this is what good football teams do. And this is coming from a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan who cannot stand the Eagles. They went in there, they handled business, and they won the game. I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter, but they're like, oh, they get bailed out. You know, the drops. I know these drops happen, but championship teams make these games happen. They're 9-1 right now. They've been in a lot of games where they could have lost, but they've won. And that's the most important thing about the Eagles right now is they're finding ways to win the game. Without Jalen Hurts playing great, with Jalen Hurts playing great. With the defense not playing so good, with the defense playing so good. It's a balance. I think I'm going to say it right now. The Philadelphia Eagles, and we might have to just change the graphic right now to NFL Bold Takes. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the National Football League right now, and I also think that they are better than the 49ers. They are going to beat the 49ers when they play them. I hate to say it. I feel it. They're good. They're very good right now. Aside from that, to your point, the Chiefs have some glaring issues, Ben. As you mentioned, Travis Kelce is the glue that holds that team together. And aside from that, in the AFC, it's kind of a dogfight right now. I mean, it's up for grabs. The Ravens, I want to say, you know, they have a chance. But again, I think it all depends on where they're going to be in the playoffs. Are they going to get a home game? That division's kind of up for grabs. Losing to the Browns was huge. That was huge for them. I think they really could have taken that next step in the conference and in the division with that win. You've still got the Buffalo Bills lingering with the Dolphins. The Dolphins are still Have they beaten anyone legit yet? I know you guys are going to say the same thing for Cowboys. That's true. Same for them. I actually might agree with that bold take. I think that there is a very strong chance we might not see the Chiefs or the Bills in the AFC Championship game. Right now, gun to my head, I want to say two teams right now that, I mean, I think the Chiefs, there's always a possibility for them to go to the championship, to go to the AFC Championship. Like, you always have to kind of have them in the back pocket because they have one player on the football field, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Plus, their defense has just been elite, elite, elite right now. Chris Jones is firing all cylinders. Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, Karlaftis. I mean, these linebackers that they went out and got, Nick Bolton's, all those guys, they're all meshing very well. It's just the offense that needs to figure it out. But right now, there's two teams that really cross my eye, and I know I kind of just was contradicting with the way I mentioned them, but that's the Miami Dolphins and that's the Baltimore Ravens. I think both of those teams need to take that next step, Ben, and I think that there's a possibility in terms of how seeding is going to work out that they will take that next step. There's a very good chance we could be seeing both of those two teams, who I just questioned, on here in the AFC Championship game. We've got Lewis in the chat. We're going to get to some comments here. I saw an interesting one. Lewis, big Josh Allen fan.
Josh Allen.
I saw an interesting one from Jeff Warren here. Random NFL fun fact I saw on Twitter today. The Browns and the Chiefs have the same record, and the Browns have scored more points than the Chiefs this year, which is really crazy to think about because Deshaun Watson hasn't been elite by any means. They have been cycling in PJ Walker, who's obviously Deshaun Watson's out for the year now. Then you got Dorian Thompson.
DTR Dorian.
Yeah, DTR going
Robinson.
in, making things happen. Good emotional moment for him to go out there and get that win. That's an interesting. I mean, that's saying something right there. Because, and no disrespect for the Cleveland Browns at all by any means. They're a great team. They've got guys like Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, studs out there. But yeah, I know you're a Steelers fan. He wants that disrespect, but the Chiefs should be a better offensive team. They've taken some steps back. Travis Kelce is the glue holding this together. And to your point, Ben, he's getting older. Playoffs are coming down the line. He's been limping through games. It's going to fall apart at some point. And when he's not on that field, boy, oh boy, are they going to have some issues. So just want to throw that one out there. And that's a good take there. And Lewis, I will say, I think the Buffalo Bills are back. And I think they're going to shock the world this weekend. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I got to agree with Lewis. I got to agree with Lewis on that one. Half and half a little. Yeah, the Bills definitely aren't back after that. Just after the Jets win. Anyone can beat up on the Jets. But he's throwing a little too much slander at Josh Allen. The Bills definitely aren't back, but Josh Allen, he never really was gone, but I think he's just sort of reminded everybody he is this, upper talent. Like I said, he's still obviously behind a healthy Burrow and Mahomes. He's solidified himself in that third role, I think, right now, but he's still in the elite talent, elite upper echelon of quarterbacks. So I think, people forgot about that a little. People are still throwing a little slander. So I think Lewis, it's a little unwarranted on that one, but I do agree. Like everyone's gonna chill with the Jets win. This is, Jets team this year without Rodgers, obviously. The defense can't stay out there forever. It's a really good defense that unfortunately isn't getting, showcased because they just, stay out there the whole game, get tired, just get beat up eventually. Because Zach Wilson's just awful. I don't even know who they put Tim Boyle in. I don't know what was going on with that. They just pulled Zach Wilson. Obviously, the game's over, whatever. I know what's up with that, but I mean, it really just got that bad to the point where they just said we've had enough of these Wilson. So, beating the Jets is by no means being back. Here we go. Most touchdowns, most interceptions. Like I said, he's Big Ben. He's the Big Ben of the modern NFL. He's just, Big Ben got lucky. He just won that first Super Bowl. Won the Super Bowl pretty early, so you couldn't question the winning. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good, Lewis. I take that, especially with Kenny Pickett. I'll have most interceptions and most touchdowns any day of the week. I'll take that. But Bills definitely aren't back. Bills, like I said, not making. I don't even know. I don't even think the Bills making out the wild card. Just saying. So I'm gonna put that out there. Let that one linger.
And just another quick recap here before we get into a little bit later in the show. Some of our predictions, a couple more bold takes. I just want to give you a quick little rundown on the playoff picture right now. On the AFC side of things, the Baltimore Ravens that we talked about are 8-3. They're first. That Chiefs loss was a pretty big one for them. I didn't even think about that. So the Chiefs are the first seed. The Baltimore Ravens are the first seed. Chiefs are the second seed. Jaguars are the third seed. Miami Dolphins are the fourth. Browns are the fifth. Those Texans just really catching the league by storm, are the sixth. And your Pittsburgh Steelers are the seventh seed in the AFC. Flip over to the NFC. You got the Eagles just running away with it at the top, although the Lions are 8-2 as well. You've got the Lions at the second seed, 49ers at the 3, Saints at the 4, in just an absolute dogfight for that division between the Falcons, Saints, and Bucks. You've got the Cowboys at the 5, Seahawks at the 6. They fell down after that loss to the Rams. And right now, the Vikings holding a 1.5 lead over the Packers for the 7th seed. Josh Dobbs in that story. And I just want to say one thing as well here. The Broncos are slowly climbing up that ladder here. They've sprinkled across a couple good wins. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills. They pulled one out against the red hot Minnesota Vikings. They're slowly coming along. They're 5-5 right now. I don't know. It's just something to look at. I don't know how good their schedule is going to be for the rest of the year. I think this week they have a pretty tough matchup ahead of them, but I don't know. Something to keep an eye on there because I would not see them. Yeah, they're one game back, and they are playing this week the Browns. Yeah, they do have that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a massive game for both teams there. Browns want to stay in. The fact that they're 7-3 right now with just quarterback carousel is very impressive. But yeah, it's a big game. We've got some big games this weekend, Ben. Huge, huge, huge games.
Huge doc. And we got Zach coming out for more Winston support. It can't be a show without Zach saying he wants Winston out there. Hey, listen, at this point, I might as well put him out there. I don't want to see Derek Carr. Obviously injured and everything. It just, I don't think it's working out for him already. And here we go. Jimmy, Sean Payne deserves a ton of credit. Yeah, hey, thanks for that one. He does. And that really just shows you what the coaching can do. So hey, shout out to the Broncos and that. And I definitely could see them making a little push. Already got that Chiefs win. So this team is pretty good. The defense is kind of picking it up. They just play safe, good football. Russell's been not turning over as much. He's been, actually completing passes this year. Courtland Sutton has been a great safety blanket for him. Jerry Jeudy being a little healthier this year. Hey, Javonte Williams picked it up in this sort of second half of the season. Had a little slow start in the beginning, but it's whatever. It's what. Here we go, Jimmy. That's not true, but you gotta give it up for Sean Payne. You gotta just show what a great coach he is, and Russell Wilson. Hey, turn back the clock a little. He's still not good, still not that good, but he's serviceable right now, Josh. And we gotta give it to the Broncos and everything. But we want to talk about that NFC playoff picture. It's pretty much set, Josh. I think it's pretty much those are the teams you're gonna see. Like you mentioned, sort of tough NFC South fight. Maybe the Falcons can get up there. Seahawks got a very tough next 4 games. Got the Niners twice, you guys, and the Chiefs, I believe. So you never know. They could plummet down, but I think they're going to salvage some wins out there. I think this NFC playoff picture is pretty set. You got the Falcons that trying to scrape into there, and these other bad. The Packers 4-6. They're like the closest to that 7th seed. Nobody wants to see the Packers in the playoffs. That offense is just horrendous. So I think that's pretty much NFC playoff picture is pretty much set with those teams. And Lions and Cowboys might have a little sneaky time, Josh. I don't know. They might sneak their way in there. I kind of like those chances. I kind of like those wild cards right there because everyone just sort of wants to give it to the Eagles or Niners, but I kind of like what the Lions, Cowboys doing. Those sneaky teams maybe take the NFC. But just something to think about.
Oh, for sure. And I wanted to ask you. So, have you come to the conclusion that it's the Saints division to lose? Like, do you think that they get the home playoff game? Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll sneak in, but you never count out these Falcons. They're kind of, well, I mean, just the AFC South just kind of stinks. So you can never count out anybody. But you got to, that division is kind of a crapshoot. Yeah, I did, Jimmy. But uh, you just gotta, you can't tell with that one. You just know the Panthers aren't going to win it. The Panthers aren't going to win that division. So that's pretty much it with that one. But I think that the rest of that playoff picture is pretty much set right now. And the Lions, I don't know. I don't want to go all on the Lions, Josh, but I mean, St. Brown, this offense is coming together. Montgomery's healthy now. Gibbs is emerging. We know what that defense can do. Hutchinson's just playing out of his mind. So I'm not fully bought in, but I'm really liking what the Lions are doing.
Just to move, I wanted to give the viewers and just throw it out there for food for thought. The Broncos' next 3 games, they've got the Browns on the road against the Texans, on the road against the Chargers. So all teams right now, those 3 games are pivotal matchups for all 3 of those teams. So just something to keep an eye on. I think maybe the Broncos will fall apart. I mean, I believe in the Texans more than I do the Broncos. The Chargers, I mean, they're just a mess. Justin Herbert can only do so much over there, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, I know we've got some people who are high on the Texans. They think they can kind of make that push. And I'm going to give another bold take through the segment. I know Ben's been high on the Lions. I think that there is a strong chance we could see the Lions lose a home playoff game this year. I think right now, I believe it would be the Lions at the 2 seed, so they wouldn't get the bye. The Eagles would get the bye. And the Lions would host a game against the Vikings right now. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not as in love with the Lions as everybody else is. I think they're the best team in that division. I will say, I do think that they're going to take that division. But anything can happen in a playoff matchup that's divisional as well. I think there's a potential we see the Lions bow out in the first round, wild card weekend. I know I'm going to get a lot of Dallas slander, but that's an NFL bold take I wanted to give to you guys.
Yeah, I like it, Josh. Josh always come with these bold takes. I knew he was going to hate on the Lions. Josh always hate on the Lions. Yeah, Jimmy's answer. I mean, this one's. I was just thinking about that too during the line slander from Josh. Josh not liking the Lions. I'm just gonna keep emphasizing that, but
I'm just not sold. And this is a great point. I didn't even think about this earlier, although I will say Aiden Hutchinson's a stud. Jeff Warren, I'm with you, Josh. Defense wins championships, and the Lions D looks ... shaky. We've also got James coming in here. Give me your top 5 teams right now in order. He wants in order.
Mine, Josh. If you wanna, I'll say mine so you can think. I know you were
okay,
reading all that. You gotta go Eagles. Eagles obviously number 1. Then you go to Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens. Just give them. I gotta suck it up. I gotta take the Steelers bias out of there right now and give them the credit where credit's due. They've won the games they needed to, where they usually lose. Even though they in their 3 losses, they've given up a couple tough ones. But I'll go them 2. Niners 3. Gotta give them the Niners over there. Yeah, Ravens over the Niners. So I'm gonna go Ravens over the Niners. Come on, I'm gonna take that one. Give credit where it's due. I go Lions at 4. I like Lions at 4. Then Chiefs rounded out at 5. Like I said, just gotta give the credit to Mahomes. He's already established himself as one of the best, I should say, that one of the best quarterback out there. Along with Andy Reid, I gotta give him the credit. So I'm going to put them at 5. I know it goes against my bold take, but I usually contradict myself half the time on here, so that's all right. But I got to give it to them at 5. It's just disrespectful. They've been the best for a while. They deserve that 5 spot. So,
and I don't even think it necessarily like contradicts it. I mean, right now it's just power rankings. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the power rankings right now that will slide off. It's funny. I think me and James are thinking the same here. I think I would go Eagles 1. Niners 2, Ravens 3 to your point, and then it's I want to give the Chiefs 4. No, I want to give the Chiefs 4, and then I'd probably go Lions 5. I just like to your point. I still think the Chiefs, they're still in there. They're still in contention. I want to give the Dolphins, but again, they don't have that win. Same with the Cowboys. Like, they don't have that win over. They're winning games, and James says this all the time to me. Your job is to win games, and just every week, any given Sunday, you got to go out there and win. Doesn't matter how bad the team is you're going up against. You're as good as your record says. Shout out to Tony Scarfo, who always says that. But again, there's some type of like resistancy with me with the Dolphins and the Cowboys. I still need to see it to believe it. I want Dallas to beat a good team before I can get all on a board there. But yeah, I'd say I'd still put the Lions in the 5. I still think that there's time for things to shake out, but right now that's my top 5. I think the Niners are like a close. Eagles are 1, but the Niners are 2. I think like those two are like the top 2 no matter what. Then it goes Ravens. I'll say Chiefs, and then I'll say Lions. Just in terms of the Lions are doing what they got to do. They've beaten a couple more legit teams than both the Dolphins and the Cowboys, and they have better records than the Dolphins and the Cowboys. So
Yeah, that's a little crazy one for Rob right there. I mean, that'd be a
we've
nice
got
parlay.
we've
Gotta
got
check it
yeah.
out,
Ben,
but
you want to announce it? He wants a spot on the show. You want to give the people the
you want
grace of his lock of the week. Let's hear
the
it.
lock of the week. That's a big lock of the week. Lions, Cowboys, 49ers, all money line. I mean, those probably aren't too good of options. Lions and Cowboys are playing two tough opponents on Thanksgiving. Especially now, all of them Niners Thanksgiving games. Like Seattle's a pretty rough one. CMC, we don't want to keep riding this CMC touchdown. Listen, that glamour has gone away. I'm going to stay away from that one. Lamb anytime touchdown, I like that. I'll take that. Lockett, I guess I'll take that one too. They're going to be throwing the ball. Kenny Walker's out. Uh, I don't know if they're going to be rushing with Zach Charbonnet too much against that San Fran D. I like that one. I'll take it. I'll take that one without CMC. So I would do that one without that one. Take CMC out of there for me, and I do it. Yeah, Jimmy's was sort of right. He put the Patriots there, but we'll ignore that Patriots at the end. I know what he's doing, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of in sort of all the Ravens love. I did forget about the Mark Andrews injury. Yeah, I did forget they lost their top guy. I was giving a lot of love to them, so we'll see how they can bounce back with that one of their top targets. But I'm still going to put the Ravens up there. I think they can. They're obviously not going to replace Andrews, but I think they can muster up something for that offense.
James putting my Cowboys in that top 5. He changed it.
Cowboys.
Actually, Cowboys top 5. He's saying Eagles, Niners, Chiefs, Cowboys, Lions. Wow, he's saying Cowboys top 5. We'll see when he turns on us. Fake fan Joshua. I have to see it to believe it with them. This is what we do. And somebody made a great point. We beat up on bad teams. I mean, we are winning the games we have to win, but let's see us handle the Chiefs. I mean, not Chiefs, excuse me. Let's see us handle the Bills. Let's see us handle the Eagles, win both those games, and it's okay. Now you won some legit games. I want to see a split with the Eagles as well. They got a couple other tough games. They got Miami Dolphins. That'd be a very good matchup for both of those teams. I think that's in Miami too. So we've got our work. We've got a slight schedule right now. We've got our work cut out for us a little bit later. Rob, I actually don't hate that. I'm kind of opposite of Ben. I like the Lions money line. I like the Cowboys money line.
All right, those are easy.
I like the Niners. Yeah, all those money lines. I actually really like the CMC anytime. And I think CD Lamb, I know he's hurt. I think he'll score. It's a big primetime game, huge national ratings. I think he'll find his way into the end zone. Tyler Lockett, though, I think I'd probably go DK Metcalf. But we've got Jameson says Eagles 31, Bills 23. So that's interesting. And
I think it's that close. I don't think it's that close. Good guess from Jameson, though. I always appreciate it from Jameson on that one, but I think he's giving a little too much credit to the Bills, Jameson. So
Jameson out there. Wow.
He's giving
Ben,
too much credit.
Wait, Tom, do you see a beatdown?
No, he's giving too much credit. Too much credit to the Bills. Not beat down, but it's not going to be that close.
What do you think?
I mean, after the way they just came out and beat the Chiefs, I could see 30-14, 30-17. I could see that against the Bills. I mean, that defense. I mean, Jalen Carter almost picked that off from that spike. I've never seen that before. That's kind of crazy athleticism. That defensive line is just menacing. And that secondary held up. I mean, granted, we all know the conditions last night, very rainy. Obviously, not not gonna, Mahomes isn't going to be Mahomes out there, but that secondary that's been shaky so far held up. Actually, the defensive line wasn't that good. They let up a bunch of rushing yards to Pacheco, whenever Pacheco was kind of running all over him. But no, here we go. Here we go, Lewis, right there. We'll get to that one too in a second. But I was really impressed with the Eagles secondary last night and how they overcame everything, and kind of a couple injuries so far, but how they sort of dealt with them at home. So I'm going to give the Eagles benefit of the doubt. I'll go 30-17. I think Bass gets a field goal in there. He's one of the better kickers out there. So no, Lewis.
I need
Lewis
you.
was going
Yeah,
somewhere else with that one.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Kenny. I thought Kenny was the real problem. No, Mike. There we go. Typical Patriots fan. Lewis always blaming the head coach. Listen, hey, you guys worry about your own head coach. Our head coach is just fine over here. We've got it under control. That's the last problem with us. Trust me. I thought he was going to go Kenny, to be honest, Josh. I didn't know he was going to come after Tomlin.
That's wild. Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I mean,
Lewis, elaborate.
No, I've heard it. Listen, I've heard it from the Tomlin one, the Tomlin hate. The sincere. But I think you really just can't argue with the record. No losing record ever. He's always consistent. He's all this time. Tomlin's been there. Man, he's been there. What's that? 14 years, 14, 15 years. He got there 2000, 2009, I believe. Is he right? Yeah, I gotta double check that one. I gotta double check that one. Actually, might have been, it was somewhere around there. It's just been around so long.
2007.
2007. I was 2 years off. Here we go. And
Close
it was right after that Super Bowl. Yeah, it was after Bill Cowher. I should have got that one. It was after Cowher's retirement. We've only had three head coaches. So there's a little something in that, Lewis. But no, I thought the real problem might be Kenny. To be honest, if we're gonna be really honest, we're just gonna graze over Lewis's. Listen, Tomlin's fine. He knows how. He's a player's coach. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to spurts the coordinators' positions. He lets them do their thing. Tomlin's fine. If we really want to look at the problem, it might be Kenny. So we'll see how this new offensive coordinator goes. But wasn't expecting that from Lewis. Thought Lewis was going to go right with that Kenny Pickett hate. But whatever, Lewis. Worry about your head coach. You guys worry about your head coach first. I haven't really ever had the chance to say that in my 26 years as a Steelers fan. There's Porter. What's up, Porter? Porter's back. Yep. Happy McCann release day. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy today.
Fans rejoice.
Let's go. Everyone's in here today. Everyone's happy. Shout out Porter. But yeah, come on, Lewis. Tomlin's not the problem. Worry about Bill a little, even though he's not really the problem either over there. So I think we got to look at both of our quarterbacks, Steelers and Patriots. No. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I know he actually owns us, but that was really just with Brady and Gronk too. So we got to double check that. We got to double check that one. But no, Tomlin's not the problem. Maybe Kenny
likes that. We've got a couple more comments. Porter saying, now just play Warren over that bum Najee and then Rob Ben. The Ravens and Browns taking the division. Question mark.
No, listen, Porter's falling into that trap too. I don't know. It might be another Tony Pollard situation. We're seeing Pollard not really. Once he gets that full workload, it's kind of been a weird year for him so far. So I don't know. I kind of want to talk people off that one. I don't know if we want to give Warren that full workload. Might see that sort of regression that Pollard's been having this year. So I think this is a perfect 1-2 punch. Everyone hates Najee, saying he runs with jeans. Listen, he's fine.
I heard that one. Did they really say that?
Yeah, they say there's a video of it saying he runs with jeans on. So he looks like he runs with jeans on. Listen, it's a tough, that Liz Frank injury really put him back. He just hasn't really I mean, he's kind of he's on that Trent Richardson path, but the injuries have definitely caught up to him. He's definitely lost a little of his luster. But no, I think we got to keep that 1-2 punch. I don't know if Warren's ready for that full workload, and I don't know if I want to give it to him. I like that 1-2 punch and Warren not having to take that whole offensive workload on his shoulders. These running backs get beat up now in today's game, obviously. You got to have two healthy guys around there. So I like having that 1-2 punch. And Rob, probably the Ravens taking it. Ravens probably taking that division. So uh, Benny Snell. That's a throwback. I like that one. Benny Snell.
He likes the Benny Snell.
A couple good games.
We are gonna start some of our predictions. We're gonna get this one out of the way. It's America's team, my team. I had to throw that one in there. Playing Thanksgiving game, Thanksgiving turkey against the Commanders, who I just have a bone to pick. I picked them. I listened to James. I thought it was the safe pick against Tommy DeVito, who decides to be the man. Of course, the Commanders lose that game. I bow out of my survivor pool. Had a legit chance. It's just so frustrating. And this is what I want Dallas to get some sweet revenge for me. Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays, watching my favorite team play with my family. I hope they just absolutely massacre them. Take some of that frustration out. And I think they will. This is what Dallas has been doing. They're beating down on bad teams. And hey, that's what we're supposed to do right now is just win games in our schedule. I'm not going to sit here and bash. I'm not going to be a fake fan. But I'm going to say Dallas wins this one 27. I won't go 30. I'm going to say 27-17. The score is gonna look close, but it won't be super close. I'll say Dallas gets out to an early lead. Then they get a little stagnant later in the game. I think it's gonna be one of those games where Dak Prescott comes out late in the fourth quarter again. I think he hasn't played much minutes in the fourth quarter this season. A lot of the games have been blowouts in our wins. I'll say, like I said, 27-17. It'll sound closer than it really is. I think the line is like 7.5, 9.5. I could be wrong, but I'll say Dallas covers that line. And hopefully it's just a bigger beatdown than that. But what the hell, Sam Howell? Like, what do you do? I don't even know how you lose to the Giants there. I mean, you're trying to make contention with these teams like the Falcons we talked about earlier. And you're trying to be there with the Vikings, and you're just not. Just terrible performance for that team last week. Should not have lost that game against the Giants. I know it's a divisional game. Shouldn't have happened. Dallas beats down. Could be considered my lock of the week. Quick little thing for you guys, too. I went against the thing. I have 2 upset alerts because I didn't want to choose Dallas as the lock of the week. I wanted to spice it up a little bit. 2 upset alerts for you guys. But yeah, this could be considered a lock of the week if you want to use them in your survivor pool. National television. Dallas isn't going to lose. They know Philly's been winning. Roll with Dallas here. I'll say they beat them by 10.
Yeah, I would agree with Josh on that one. Josh is going to be happy about Thanksgiving. It's going to be a good game, I think, a little in the beginning, but Cowboys just run away with this one. I don't know if it's a degree, of Porter. Maybe that 8 sacks. That Cowboys defense is legit. What's his name? Bland getting his 4th pick 6 already. This year, that was kind of crazy. I didn't need that for fantasy. That kind of screwed me in my fantasy game. But I mean, that Cowboys defense just eats sometimes, as Josh has mentioned, and we've all seen and know. Not against the best competition. Panthers, Bryce Young, not the best, but I mean, they still got to get done. Still beat up on these teams. You can't play down to the competition, and the Cowboys don't. So you got to give the Cowboys credit for that. But yeah, this is a pretty easy one. Lock it down. Cowboys win this one. It's going to be a good Thanksgiving. Always good seeing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving tradition. It's just what you think of on Thanksgiving. Cowboy football, Lion football too. Shout out Porter on that one. But he said Lions by a million. Yeah, take the Lions by a million. It's an easy one against the Packers. But we got to bring up Zach's comment too. Zach's got the Commanders. Hopefully. Maybe he's joking about it. Hopefully he's joking. We all know Zach.
This is what he does.
He might actually take him. So maybe throw a little money line on there to Zach. Spice it up on Thanksgiving, but probably gotta lose your money if you do that one. So be careful with that. I like that 27-17. That was a really good one. I'll go 24-13. Weird game. Howell throws for a lot of yards, but they just can't get anything down in the red zone. And Cowboys just take it away. Give me a couple touchdowns for Dak. Give me 3.
I like it. Hey, I need that too. I lost last week in one of my fantasy leagues. And I want to say, I was thinking 27-13 at first, and I'm like, I could just see Thanksgiving. Like, everybody's going to kind of play up a little bit. I don't know. We're moving forward here. We've got Ben's team here, the Steelers, and this would have been a lot more interesting a couple weeks ago. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I got to leave it up to the Steelers fan, give him more time. I think this is the Steelers game to win on the road. I think it's going to be a close win, though. This is what the Steelers do. This is the offense. Their offense is frustrating. I'm going to say they win this one. They gut out a 17-16 win. Just going in there, divisional
Let's go.
game, kind of a weird thing, but they're going to do what they have to do to win at the end. I'm going to say Kenny Pickett, a touchdown, an interception. And I'm going to say Najee Harris finds his way into the end zone. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They win 17-16 in a close one. I'm leaning Steelers on the road just because they don't have their man, their guy, their franchise quarterback. The key to the city, Joe Burrow, is gone from Cincinnati. So sorry, Bengals fans, but I got the Steelers in this one.
Yeah, it's usually tough with me on this one. Usually, I don't know which way to go. Season's kind of gone either way. When I bet on them, they lose. When I don't, they win. Kind of vice versa. I'm gonna go Steelers. I'm gonna go Steelers in this one. Gritty game. Uh, if it ends in a tie. I really want to be that shocked, Rob. If it ends in a tie. I like that advice from Zach to this guy go back to running the ball half the game. Slow it down. I would like to see that a little more. But I think they find this nice. I like that. Again, I hate to just keep agreeing with Josh, but I like that 17-16. It's just gonna be a gritty game. Jake Browning, look decent. I know a couple people liked him, but I won't be too hard on him. I don't know. I just don't think he's going to be able to compete with this Steelers defense. The Steelers defense held their own, obviously, against the Browns, not doing too much, but they hold their own. The offense just keeps them out there a little too much, and that defense just gets tired, much like the Jets. Not to that degree, but the Steelers just can't hold up the whole time. And I think they take advantage of Browning. I think that secondary. Obviously doesn't have to worry about Joe Burrow anymore. We can, sort of double chase, get rid of him, and then let the rest of the guys beat us. So I got the Steelers in a close AFC North battle. Gonna be tougher, on the away side because we gotta go there. I think when we play them at home, it's gonna be a little easier. But I got the Steelers in this one close game. I won't go six. I'll go 2017. 2017 close game. Offense, finds a little bit more juice. Let's just get a little more in there. We just gotta find something. We gotta find something with them, Matt Canada. I could see him scoring a little more, but until I see it to believe it, I won't. So I got him 2017, Josh, in a gritty game. Let's go Steelers.
Like you said, it's just got to be one of those things you see to believe. And that's why I'm going with one of my first upsets, which would be my lock of the week. So, Ben, you can spice it up whatever you want to do next, your lock or your upset. I'm going to go with the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Rob's Baker Mayfield. I think they're going to make some things happen on the road. I think they know that the divisional race is kind of falling from underneath them. I wasn't they played okay against the San Francisco 49ers. That's just a powerhouse team. This is a bridge team in the Tampa Bay Bucks. They've still got some pretty solid guys on both sides of the ball. And I don't know. I know that the Colts are coming off a bye week, but I could see this as an upset. I don't know. I just think it has upset written all over it. The line's close. Gardner Minshew, I'm not sold on them. I don't think the Colts are gonna make the playoffs. I think the Texans are kind of running away with it. I think the Jags are a better team as well. Earlier with Anthony Richardson, I would have thought, yeah, I think the Colts have a chance. I liked what I saw from him. He's just gotta stop running the ball. They've got to be healthier and more cleaner running the ball. But aside from that, they've got Gardner Minshew. I just can't see the Bucks going 4-7. Maybe I'm wrong. It's my upset of the week. I wouldn't put too much stock into this one, but it's going to be a close game. One of those interesting, weird games. Both teams trying to make playoff pushes, trying to get in the hunt. I like the Tampa Bay Bucks. I like Baker Mayfield, who's been pretty good for them. He's been okay. I think the Browns would rather have Baker Mayfield back right now than the situation they've got going on right now. So I like the Bucks. I'll say 21-17. They go into Indianapolis and win.
That one, Josh. I like the Colts. You never really trust the Colts. Colts a little. shaky at times, but I'll go to my upset tight end for Josh too. Just one of the predictions as well. I'm taking the G-men. I'm taking the Giants over the Pats.
Here we go.
Uh,
Here we
Upsets
go.
plus 140. Here we go.
Here
The
we
Pats
go.
fans come at me. Tommy DeVito put on a show last week, as Josh outlined, frustrating him in the survivor pool, but giving the Giants fans a little hope this year. That was kind of good to see from them, especially throwing it to Saquon as much as he did. So, uh, here we go.
I love this. I'm sorry. I want to give
it's-
time to this. I love this.
Yeah, listen, we'll talk about a trade, Zach. I'm going to talk about a trade. I lost Mark Andrews in that fantasy league. We'll talk about a trade.
I love it. Let's go, Zach. Make that trade with Zach. Come on.
Let's
go,
want to
Ben.
give Jefferson. He just wants Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
I mean,
don't
what?
know I don't know
Okay.
what he's going to offer me. We'll talk later. You can text me. You text me
Text
your
him,
offer.
Zach. Come on.
Text me.
Make a
Text me
trade
your
with
offer.
Zach.
I already
good.
did this year too.
Oh, you guys
so-
did?
Yeah. I gave him Brees Hall. He gave me James Cook and Zay Flowers. So it's really not looking. It's kind of indifferent now. I kind of wish I didn't do it.
That's
at this
not-
time.
that's-
Losing Kenny Walker, but
On paper, though, that's actually good. Like, that's the thing about Zach, and I just want to give him a pound. He's always, like, making fair trades, though. Like, he doesn't look to scheme. That's one thing. And
Yeah,
Ben's
he's-
like, what the hell? Like, but
Yeah,
I
he
will say
doesn't.
that about
He
Zach.
doesn't.
He's always trying to keep it fair. Hey,
True.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Especially,
it's a fair trade.
yeah,
Fair
I
trade.
like that, Zach. He's got a top 3 tight end for you. I'll make this short and sweet. I'm gonna say the Patriots win this one. I mean, you got to win
we
this
go.
game. Like, what the hell? I don't care. I don't have stock in it. The Giants are done. They're not going to catch up to Dallas. We've swept them. It's not that I want the Patriots to win for any of that reason. But I think this is a game they should win. I look at this game similar to that I did to the Commanders last week, who blew it. That's a divisional game, a little weirder implications, but it seems to me like Mac Jones won't start this weekend, and I think that might actually benefit the team. Go well. I don't know if they're going to do Will Greer. They're going to do Bailey Zappi. Play with some dignity. I mean, I know the Patriots fans don't want to hear this, but in terms of the team's not trying to go out there and tank themselves. They're trying to play and compete. Bill Belichick, too, I'm sure he doesn't want to keep losing, especially to the Giants, especially to his old team, especially to Tommy DeVito. That will not look good. I know he played well last week. He was the man. I think the Pats should go into New York, win a gritty one. I'm going to say 13-10. I mean, what the hell? If they lose this one, though, Ben, I mean, I think that you should just start picking against them every single weekend every week they play. But I think they should win this one. They will. I think the Giants come back down to life a little bit. They're a mess. Patriots got the bye week, fresh legs. I think they win this one.
No, I got to take the G-Man. I got to take the G-Man, Josh. My upset. Everyone take it. Everyone lock that one in there. G-Man, I think Saquon's just going to be too much for that Pats defense. Too much. And with little star power they have, it just overshadows the Pats. And the Pats are just in disarray. Mac Jones getting benched. Who knows what his mental case is like, mental state is like. It's probably a little mental case right now. So but I got the G-Man. I'm going to stick with that one. The transition to another easy one, Josh. The lock of the week. This is easy. 49ers over Seahawks. A little Thanksgiving night. Yeah, we go back to Rob's parlay. It's probably the easy ones. Probably go all favorites on Thanksgiving. Lions, Cowboys, Seahawks, 49ers. It's pretty easy slate right there for these guys, especially this Kenny Walker injury. Seahawks getting a little banged up right now. So I'm going to take the 49ers. I think they're going to, obviously a little rivalry game. So it's going to be a little competitive. But I think the 49ers just take control of this one in the second half. Easy money for them. Here we go, Zach. Zach's just going against the opposite of everything. Seahawks are winning. Probably not. I think the 49ers defense is just going to be a little too much for this Geno Smith-led offense. Seahawks are good, but not that good. I'm going to take the Niners, Josh. Easily, probably. Might even go like 30-10. 34-10. Around there. I think they just beat up on them.
They're in a groove right now. I mean, this is a team. Brock Purdy just killing it. They've got some guys healthier now. They've just got so many weapons, Ben, to your point. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Debo's back now. Christian McCaffrey fits in like a glove. Their defense, they got Chase Young. They've got my boy Nick Bosa. They've got Dre Greenlaw out there. They've got, like, I know they just lost one of their top safeties, but again, they're still, their secondary's pretty good as well. Lenore, the cornerback's been pretty good for them. They're winning games that they got to win in dominant fashion. I think the Seahawks, like you said, I actually didn't even know how tough that schedule was. I think it's going to come down to reality here. Another bridge team, another Geno Smith. I like the story. He's been okay, but not enough star power. Too much inconsistency for guys like Tyler Lockett, Rob's boy. They don't got the run game to really lean on. I know people love that Zachary Charbet, or whatever his first name is. Charbonnet. Is it Zachary, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was right on that. Zachary Charbonnet. I don't think it's a good matchup running the ball against the Niners. They'll take that away from you. They're going to win this one. They're too friggin' good. Trust me. It's come from a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I agree with Ben on that lock. I'm going to do it. You guys, you had to know I was going to do this. I'm actually glad that it worked out, that this is the last pick of the show. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say right now, this team is back. I'm all in. I was all in a couple weeks ago. I still think the Eagles are the best team in the National Football League. But they're running into the big, bad Buffalo Bills. This is going to be an upset. This is going to be a shock. And guess what?
Yeah.
The Vegas line's pretty close for a reason there. Although the Eagles are on the road, again, no knock to them. They're going to drop a game at some point. I liked what I saw out of the Buffalo Bills last week. I know that they've got a lot of guys hurt on defense, but again, Eagles offensively, Jalen Hurts, they struggled a little bit last night against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs have a lot better of a defense than the Bills. I think it's going to be kind of a shootout here. I think Josh Allen's going to play big. I think Stephon Diggs, those guys, he's going to have a very big game. I like the Bills in this. The Bills are back. They're going to go 7-5, shock the world, and then everybody's going to be buzzing about how the Bills are back. And guess what? I don't want to hear it from you guys. I don't want to hear it from anyone else. The only one I want to hear puffing his chest is Jared, because I think they're going to do this. The Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. They're going to be 7-5, and they are going to shock the world. Bold take, too. That's a bold take. Bold take episode. Upset alert. Pound the alarm. In Philly. Ben doesn't like it. He's shaking his head. He hates it. Charlie doesn't like it either. They're going to win. The Buffalo Bills are going to go in there and win. Stephon Diggs, huge day. James Cook as well. They're going to win this game.
Someone tell Lewis.
The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen are going to travel into Lincoln Financial Field and win this game. Let's go, Buffalo.
Here we go.
Let's go, Buffalo.
He's getting the Buffalo. He's fully immersed in the Bills culture. I don't see it. Let's see. I respect the bold hot take. You got to respect it. I don't see it. Listen, Eagles are nice, but something to watch out for. Those bettors, Robbie Betts out there. Maybe
take a peek at that. I like that. Robbie Betts. That might have to be the thing. Robbie Betts.
Robbie Betts. So we'll check out that parlay and we'll watch out for that one too. I'm looking at Zach's Seahawks, Commanders, Lions one. Probably. Let's not do that one, guys. Let's stay away from that one. But hey, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. So I'd probably stay away from that one, Josh. Sorry, Zach.
I agree. Zach. Hey, I mean, who am I to say? I mean, this is who am I to say? I got the Buffalo Bills beating the Eagles. Bold takes. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, as always, from the bottom of our hearts. Got a good stream going today. A lot of NFL stuff. Maybe next week we'll get back to some more Celtics Bruins. Huge. I want to throw this one out there. Huge Bruins game tonight. They just lost to the Lightning. Not a regulation loss, so they got the point, but they lost to the Lightning in a tough one last night. They got the Panthers, I believe, tonight, or that's either tomorrow. It's a tough one. I think it's tomorrow. It might actually be tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow night. That's a big one. And this is that stretch I was previewing last week, Ben. I wanted to come on and say this on the show. This was that stretch I was previewing last week on the show. The Bruins need to win some of these games. I think they will. I'm not freaking out yet. I want to see what they do against the Panthers and a couple of the other teams moving forward. I think the other Rangers are up on that docket. So I want to see what happens with that. That they're literally right behind us right now. Got a lot of respect for that team. Celtics, what are you doing? I'm not as freaking out as everybody else. It happens. You lost to the Hornets. You've been pretty sound all season. You're gonna have those weird wonky losses. I'm not freaking out at all. But again, as always, I'm gonna turn it over to Ben. Cowboys win. Bruins will be fine. And let's go Buffalo.
Loves his Bills. He loves his Bills over there. Not as much as his Cowboys, but he loves the Bills right now. Never, never, never. He's got to tease him with that one a little, but no, I appreciate everyone as always. Good to see Porter back. Good to see everyone comments and good NFL show. But yeah, we'll try to get back to the Seas Bruins next week. There's kind of just wanted to ignore it after last night, Josh. It was two tough losses. I thought we were up with 4 points. We had a 4 point lead against the Hornets. 36 seconds left. Next thing I know, we're in OT. So we can chalk that one up to low luck. But we'll get back to those guys next week. Just want to appreciate everyone. Patriots, upset alert. Steelers winning. Cowboys cruising. And I'll talk to you about the trade, Zach.